Hi everyone, this is Nancy. You'll be creating with this course a Mosaic Mandala that can be displayed inside or outside. We'll be using beautiful glass, and I'll teach you the whole process from start to finish. So I hope you have a good time. It's supposed to be fun, but you'll also create a beautiful mosaic, I promise. Mandala, or is it mandala? Who knows? You'll be creating a glass mosaic mandala that you can display safely outside. For exterior mosaics, it's a little bit more complicated to create. You have to use special glue, special underlayments, and special glass that can withstand the elements outside. It's a bit more expensive to create, but it's worth it to know that your mosaic is going to last. What makes a mandala or a mandala are the geometric points. Without emphasizing those 8 geometric points, it's just a pretty circle. So we're going to make sure in your mandala that those points are really emphasized and your eye is drawn to them, and that's what's going to create your mandala. So like I said, this is going to be an exterior mosaic, and anything that's intended to go outside can never be put on wood. Wood is an organic substance and it moves. As soon as it moves, your grout will crack, and then once it cracks, moisture will get in and your mosaic will fail. I always say you can make a beautiful mosaic, but if it falls apart, it's not so pretty. Both Ouija board and Go board are actually layers of foam with concrete embedded on both sides. So since it's foam, you cannot screw into it like you can wood. So it's really important to install the hanging hardware first. You'll see that there's a screw on one side and it goes through the other. So you'll see that little screw on the front of your Go board or Ouija board substrate. I hate math. Let's do it the easy way. Here's an idea of some of the glass you'll be using to create your mandala. The glass on the top is recycled glass made in Turkey. Sometimes it's called Ottoman glass. It's very smooth and shiny on the top, and on the underside has little bitty ridges that help it adhere. and I have iridized ellipses, glass blobs, and I cut all that mirror for you. I have sheets of mirror that I cut by hand just for you. You'll also be using some of these beautiful square molded glass tiles. You'll see that the underside is ridged, and that helps the glue kind of hold on to them. So that goes down, and the smooth part always goes up. I cut all of these for you using my wheeled nippers. I cut them in half, and some of them you'll see that I cut at an angle for you to go around at the tight radius in the center of your circles. You've received in your kit an assortment of glass, either in the hot, bright colors or the cool blues and greens. The assortment of glass you receive may not be exactly as shown in my examples, so be flexible, play, arrange, adapt. Keep in mind that I send you a little bit more of what you need, so just in case you happen to drop a piece or lose a piece, you don't panic. So have fun. So before you get started, take some time and get a feel for all that beautiful glass tessera. Lay it out, kind of get an idea of the progression of what goes where and how everything is going to fit together before you get started. It's important to make sure that that center element is totally, absolutely centered. Occasionally, those little glass blobs that you put in the center aren't perfectly round. So you're going to make sure that your center element is perfectly round by the little bitty glass tiles that you put around it. So use a ruler and make sure that everything is perfectly centered. Once again, I'm stressing that that center element needs to be perfectly centered. If it is not perfectly centered as you go along creating your mandala and you add each additional row, your geometry will be off and things will not fit correctly. So once again, measure, measure, measure. Get that ruler out and make sure you're perfectly centered. Hi, so we're going to get ready to grout now. I've got about 6 ounces of black sanded grout here for you. It's important to note that this is sanded grout and not unsanded grout. Unsanded grout is intended for a 1/16 of an inch grout joint, and our grout joints are a lot larger than that. So you'll always want to use sanded grout. I'm going to just reserve a couple of tablespoons of grout here, and I'll tell you why later. The ratio of grout to water is generally about 4 to 1, but I don't do math very well, so we'll just sort of wing it. I have 1.5 ounces of water. It's really important to add your water slowly. You can always add more water, but you can't take it out. We are going for, I'm going to add about half the water. I'm using an old nasty spatula. We're going for generally a consistency of maybe cookie dough, peanut butter. And this is the amount of grout that I'll be sending you, so you'll know what you'll be working with here. A little bit more, a little bit at a time. Try to stir from the bottom as well. The stir stacks you get would work as well, but I love these old nasty spatulas. I never throw one away. And a little bit more water, and we're starting to come together. A little bit more water. Looks like my 1.5 ounces of water is just about spot on. A little bit more water in the bottom. And that should do it. Let's take a look. That's a tad bit dry. I'm going to get a tad bit more water, just maybe a 1/4 of an ounce. So you can see I'm adding this water very slowly. And this is about what we're going for. So give you an idea what it's like here. Not too runny. Okay, we're going to let this grout sit a little bit and then get ready to finish and grout our beautiful mandala. Have fun grouting. Plop it on. Smush it in. Spread it around. But always remember to do the sides. Turn your mandala over on the side and smush the black grout into the sides and all around the exposed edge of the substrate. I'm fast, but not that fast. I sped up the video for you just to make it a little easier to watch. If you accidentally got any glue on top of your glass tessera, don't panic, it happens a lot. The grouting process will loosen up that glue, and you can get a pokey tool. I'm using a dental tool here to sort of scrape off any of the glue that's stuck on top. It should come off real easily for you now. Thanks for joining me on our Mosaic Mandala tour. I love sharing the mosaic joy. I hope you had a good time, and I know you made a beautiful mosaic. If you ever have questions about the process, feel free to contact me via email at nancy@mosaicsgarden.com and send me pictures of your beautiful creations. Bye.